The CNN studio in Atlanta buzzed with a volatile tension, the air heavy with anticipation, as Senator Adam Schiff, California's newly minted political titan, faced Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett in what was billed as a routine debate on congressional ethics. At 64, Schiff's familiar smirk, polished through years of television grandstanding, betrayed his confidence. The former House Intelligence Committee chairman, a master of hinting at unseen evidence, assumed he'd dominate this exchange as he had countless others. But tonight, across from him, sat Crockett, the 43-year-old Texas firebrand, her Harvard-honed intellect concealed behind a calm exterior, her purple blazer a vibrant defiance under the studio's glare. In her hands, a manila folder held secrets that would unravel Schiff's meticulously crafted image. "Senator Schiff," Crockett began, her voice a low, dangerous hum, "before we discuss ethics, let's examine your own." Schiff's smile flickered as she opened the folder, revealing documents that drained the color from his face. The American people deserve to know how their tax dollars were spent under your watch. What unfolded in the next 60 seconds was a political earthquake. Schiff storming off the set, a scandal erupting, and Crockett proving that no reputation, no matter how towering, could shield deception from truth. If you believe in exposing hypocrisy, smash that like button and subscribe, because this saga of accountability will set your heart racing. The studio lights burned hotter as Crockett laid the first document on the table, each page a dagger aimed at Schiff's legacy. To grasp the seismic impact of this clash, you must understand the giants at its core. Schiff was no ordinary politician. He was a Democratic colossus. A former prosecutor, he'd spent over 2 decades in Congress, his tenure as Intelligence Committee chairman cementing his fame. His daily TV appearances, promising bombshell revelations, had made him a household name, the self-styled guardian of America's secrets. His recent Senate election was hailed as a coronation, his image as an ethical stalwart, seemingly unassailable. Yet beneath this veneer lay whispers of unchecked power, of a man who thrived on innuendo without substance. Jasmine Crockett was his antithesis, a relentless force of accountability. A Harvard law graduate, she'd cut her teeth as a public defender, fighting for the voiceless in courtrooms where justice hung by a thread. Elected to Congress from Texas, her Judiciary Committee performances were legendary, her sharp questions slicing through spin with surgical precision. Her legal training and knack for unearthing patterns made her a formidable foe. For months, she'd quietly investigated Schiff's Intelligence Committee spending, uncovering discrepancies that could topple his career. She kept her findings secret, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. This wasn't just a debate, it was a reckoning, a battle between Schiff's privilege and Crockett's principle, with the soul of American transparency at stake. The CNN host, expecting a tame discussion, was unprepared for the firestorm. As cameras rolled, millions watched Schiff settle into his chair, exuding the confidence of a man untouchable. Crockett, her folder ready, wasted no time. "Senator Schiff," she said, her tone professional yet laced with steel, "you've built a career on oversight and accountability. Let's apply those standards to you." Schiff nodded, his smirk widening, expecting praise. "Absolutely, Congresswoman. Transparency is democracy's cornerstone." Crockett's eyes narrowed. "Good, because I've researched your time as Intelligence Committee chairman, and the patterns I found are troubling." Schiff's composure flickered, but he leaned back, relying on his media savvy. "I'm proud of my service. I've always prioritized national security." Crockett opened her folder, her movements deliberate. "Have you? Because these documents suggest otherwise." She placed a spending report on the table, angled for the cameras. "This shows $2.3 million allocated for classified briefing materials and security consultations over 2 years. That's a fortune for briefings, don't you think?" Schiff's jaw tightened, his voice defensive. "The committee handles classified matters. I can't discuss specifics publicly. How convenient, Crockett shot back, her Harvard training shining through. You can't explain, so we're meant to trust you? She produced a second document, her voice gaining edge. I cross-referenced your spending with deliverables, actual briefings, actual consultations. Guess what? Many don't exist. The host leaned forward, sensing a shift. Schiff's eyes darted, a flicker of panic betraying him. These briefing materials were purchased from companies tied to your campaign donors, Crockett continued, her words a prosecutor's indictment. Security consultations costing hundreds of thousands produced no reports, and travel expenses, billed as intelligence missions, coincided with your fundraising events nationwide. Schiff erupted, his voice rising. This is outrageous. You're twisting complex national security spending for political gain. Crockett remained unshaken, pulling another document. Am I twisting facts, Senator, or presenting evidence? There's a difference, and as a former prosecutor, you know it. The studio fell silent, the hum of cameras amplifying the tension. This memo from the Government Accountability Office questions these expenditures, she said, placing it prominently. It was buried, never seeing the light of day, until now. Schiff gripped his chair, knuckles white, his face a mask of fury and fear. This is a hit job. You don't understand intelligence work. Crockett's response was devastating. I understand fraud. I understand abuse of power. And I understand taxpayers deserve better. She spread more documents, each a nail in Schiff's coffin. 17 trips, Senator. 17 times you used taxpayer funds for what were essentially political fundraisers disguised as national security. Schiff's voice cracked. The work is classified. You can't grasp its complexity. Crockett cut him off, her authority absolute. I grasp enough to see a pattern of misconduct. The climax was shattering. Senator, Crockett said, her voice a closing argument, you've spent years claiming secret evidence, promising revelations that never came. You built your career on holding others accountable. She leaned forward, eyes locked on his. Today we have real evidence, documents, signatures, proof. Will you meet the standards you've demanded of others? Schiff's composure collapsed. His face flushed, hands trembling, he shouted, This is a witch hunt. I've served faithfully for 20 years. Crockett's reply was ice cold. And in those years, did you ever consider your actions might face the scrutiny you've imposed on others? Schiff snapped. Standing abruptly, his chair skidded back, his voice a roar. I won't sit here for this character assassination. Crockett, unmoved, responded, I'm not attacking your character, Senator. I'm presenting your actions. If they reflect poorly, that's on you. Schiff tore at his microphone, hands shaking. This interview is over. This is the political theater Americans despise. The host, stunned, stammered, Perhaps a break. But Schiff cut him off. No, I'm done with this attack. As he stormed toward the exit, Crockett's voice rang out, calm and commanding. Senator, these documents will still be here when you're ready to answer. The American people deserve the truth. Schiff slammed the door, leaving a stunned silence. Crockett turned to the camera, her poise unshakable. The senator's reaction speaks for itself. In that moment, Schiff's image as Washington's ethical insider was obliterated, replaced by a man fleeing his own record. The aftermath was a political tsunami. Within minutes, Schiff's storm-off trended globally, joined by Jar Crockett Exposed and Jar Schiff's Secrets. The clip of Schiff's meltdown went viral, shared millions of times. A tweet captured the mood. Schiff promised evidence for years. Crockett brought receipts, and he ran. Memes proliferated. Schiff's panicked face captioned, "When the evidence is real, not just a promise." Crockett's calm document spread labeled, "This is how you end a career." Schiff's team issued a frantic statement. Senator Schiff was ambushed with misleading documents in a political attack. He remains committed to transparency. The response backfired, critics noting, "If the documents are misleading, explain them." Republican leaders demanded investigations, a GOP senator tweeting, "If Schiff misused taxpayer funds for politics, it's criminal." Democrats, once allies, stayed silent, insiders reporting fury at Schiff's self-inflicted wound. Major outlets, including the Washington Post and the New York Times, launched probes into Crockett's evidence, verifying her claims. MSNBC admitted, "Crockett's documents outshone Schiff's rhetoric. Evidence wins." Late-night shows feasted, Saturday Night Live, depicting Schiff fleeing as Crockett's papers rained down. For Crockett, the moment was transformative. Her methodical preparation and unshakable demeanor made her a national icon overnight. Interview requests flooded in, universities and advocacy groups clamoring for her voice. She'd gone from respected Congresswoman to a symbol of accountability. The clash marked a seismic shift in politics. Schiff's era of empty promises was over, replaced by Crockett's standard, evidence over theatrics. The House Ethics Committee launched a review, and the GAO's buried memo gained national scrutiny. Schiff's career teetered, his approval ratings plummeting, donors retreating, and colleagues questioning his fitness for sensitive roles. Crockett's approach became a blueprint, dubbed the Crockett Standard, inspiring politicians and journalists to prioritize documentation. A Georgetown professor noted, "Crockett showed that accountability demands work, not just words." Her legacy was clear. No one, no matter how powerful, could evade truth backed by evidence. If this saga of justice stirred you, subscribe for more stories of principle over privilege. Share below, when did you see hypocrisy exposed? Because as Crockett proved, when truth meets preparation, no legend can hide.